Before there was Mount Olympus, there was a titan named Cronos. He got a terrifying prophecy. One of his own kids was going to rise up and dethrone him. So he took absolutely no chances. He swallowed 5 of them whole and was tricked with a stone in place of the 6th.
I'm AJ. And wait, a father god actually ate his own children?
I'm MJ, and in this explainer on the dysfunctional Greek dynasty, we're unpacking exactly that.
So this is how Greek religion starts? Swallowing kids alive?
Yep, that's the founding story right there. 5 children swallowed whole. And once you understand that the gods you're about to meet were raised by a father who did that, every single weird thing they do for the next 800 years makes perfect sense. They are one deeply, deeply traumatized family.
So the big question is this. How does a religion built on 12 squabbling, cheating, jealous siblings hold together an entire civilization for 1,000 years? I mean, from the Bronze Age all the way to the Roman Empire, humans built massive temples to this total chaos.
The 12 Olympians work as a religion because they don't represent abstract forces of nature. They aren't just weather or war or love. They work because they represent every single dysfunction inside a real family. Every Greek listener, 2,500 years ago, recognized at least one of them as their uncle, their cheating brother, their bitter aunt, their child prodigy nephew. The genius of Greek religion is that it's not abstract philosophy. It's just your relatives, living on a mountain, equipped with weather control.
So Zeus grows up. He forces his dad Cronos to vomit up his 5 siblings, Hera, Demeter, Hestia, Hades, and Poseidon, and they were full grown when they came back out. Then, they fought a brutal 10-year cosmic war against Cronos and the older Titans, and they won. After that, the 3 brothers literally drew lots to divide up the universe. Zeus got the sky, Poseidon got the sea, Hades got the underworld, and they just shared the solid earth.
Okay, so Zeus has 5 siblings, and now he rules the sky. But doesn't he marry one of them?
Oh yeah, he marries Hera, his full sister. Same mother, same father. The other gods knew this, the Greeks definitely knew this, they worshipped them anyway, and Zeus doesn't exactly stick to monogamy. If we look at Hesiod's Theogony, written around 700 BCE, Zeus has 57 named lovers. Goddesses, mortal women, water nymphs, sometimes even the wives of his own brothers.
And then there's Hera, the queen of heaven. She spends most of mythology not running the universe, but tracking down each of those mistresses and torturing them. She drives Heracles, Zeus's most famous son, completely mad. Mad enough to murder his own wife and kids. She persecutes the goddess Leda so violently across the earth that no land will even let her stop to give birth. In the ancient texts, the queen of the gods is basically a vengeful, jilted spouse who never stops being angry. Sound like anyone you know?
Honestly, yes. That is half the family weddings I've ever been to. It's just endless grudges.
Exactly. And the dysfunction bleeds right into the next generation. Take Athena, the goddess of strategic intelligence. Zeus got her mother, Metis, pregnant, but then he swallowed Metis alive because of another prophecy. Later on, Zeus gets this splitting headache, and Athena springs directly out of her father's head, born fully grown, wearing full armor, the ultimate golden child prodigy born from a massive headache.
Or look at Apollo and Artemis, twin children of Zeus and the mistress Leto. Because of Hera's relentless jealousy, Leto was forced into hiding. She gave birth to these twins on the barren island of Delos, literally while on the run from her husband's furious wife. Okay, so we've got the golden children and the twins, but who are the outcasts? Who are the gods nobody wants in the family photo? Well, there are 3 main ones. First is Hephaestus, the god of the forge. He was produced by Hera alone, made without a father, purely as revenge for Athena's birth. But Hera looked at him, decided he was ugly, and threw him off Mount Olympus. He landed on the island of Lemnos and broke both of his legs. He spent the rest of his existence working at a forge under a volcano. He made thunderbolts for the exact same family that never stopped throwing him out. Then there is Ares, the god of war, the son of Zeus and Hera. And he is the only Olympian his own father openly hates. This brilliantly illustrates the family dynamic. In Book 5 of the Iliad, Zeus looks directly at Ares and says, quote, "Most hateful to me of all the gods who hold Olympus." Imagine your own father saying that about you on the public record. And then there's Hades, the older brother of Zeus. He drew the absolute worst lot. He got the underworld. He doesn't even live on Mount Olympus. He runs the largest realm of the universe, guarding every soul that has ever died. And he does it entirely alone. No wife, no visitors. Now, the Greeks didn't consider him evil. Modern viewers think Hades is the devil. He's not. He's a stern civil servant doing a thankless job in the dark. But that isolation leads to the most famous myth from this family, the kidnapping of Persephone. Persephone is the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of the harvest, and Zeus. So she's Zeus's daughter and Hades' niece. Hades is sitting alone in the underworld, and he decides he wants a queen. While Persephone is picking flowers, the earth violently opens up. Hades bursts through in a black chariot, grabs her, and pulls her down into the dark.
Wait, MJ, what does Zeus do? That's his daughter.
He authorized it. Zeus gave Hades explicit permission to take her. But Demeter, the mother, didn't know. When she finally found out what the men in her family had done, she retaliated. She completely stopped the harvest. Crops failed, humans starved to death. The mother literally stopped feeding the world.
The gods were about to lose every single worshiper they had because humanity was dying out. So Zeus panicked and negotiated. He ruled that Persephone would come back to her mother for 6 months a year.
But let me guess, there's a catch.
Exactly. Because she'd eaten pomegranate seeds in the underworld, she belongs to Hades for the other 6 months. The Greeks said this is why we have winter. When Persephone is below, the earth grieves and dies. When she returns, the earth blooms. The entire calendar of every Mediterranean civilization for the next 1,000 years was built on a brutal half-time custody arrangement.
So their whole natural world was just family drama. But why does this still matter today?
Because the Olympian template runs every great story we still tell. Marvel's Avengers is a council of squabbling demigods who barely tolerate each other. Game of Thrones is structurally Hesiod's theogony with swords. The British royal family is the closest modern parallel to Olympus, a small group managing public affairs, bitter internal feuds, and a press response that's basically Hera. Every dysfunctional family in every great novel runs this exact template: sibling rivalry plus a distant patriarch.
The Greeks figured out that what humans actually believe in is family. Not abstract philosophy, not moral codes, family. Look at the generational trauma we just covered. Cronos ate his children. Zeus survived. Zeus and his sister Hera married and ran Olympus. Zeus cheated on her 57 times. Hera tortured all of them. Athena was born from Zeus's head. Apollo and Artemis from a mother on the run. Hephaestus was thrown off a mountain by his own mother. Ares was hated by his father. Hades drew the underworld. Persephone was kidnapped by her uncle and given 6 months custody, and the Greeks looked at all of this and called it religion.
They put the family on a mountain, and the mountain is run for 2,800 years and counting. The dysfunction is the point. So here's our loop question to close this out. Which of these Olympians is your worst relative? Tell us in the comments. We're reading the best ones in our next explainer.